Welcome to my studio. Come on in. I'd like you to meet my two assistants, Nadine and Sylvie. Nadine has been with me for about 27 years and Sylvie for 2.5, and I couldn't do it without them. This is probably about 2,000 square feet, so it's a really nice space. We can spread out, we can have a workroom, we can have what we call the living room for parties when we have people in. I got started with jewelry when I was about 8 years old. I'd spend my entire allowance going to the hobby shop, and I would buy little seashells and I'd make flower earrings for my mom, and she would wear them, which probably encouraged me along the way. And in probably my early 40s, I decided it's now or never, and I just decided to do it. When I first started making jewelry, most of my work was more architectural, and I gradually got into the more organic things. When I was young, my father would take us every spring out to see the wildflowers that were on some property by his father's farm. So I think I've always loved flowers, and I live in an urban setting where there really aren't any flowers, so I have to create my own flowers. My work is very intuitive, and I kind of notice things. I notice textures and everything around me, and I kind of store that as an internal inventory. I like the combination of the burnished gold with the black, so I think of it more as kind of art jewelry. I also work with stones, so this is where I would add some color to my place, because given my hunting gathering tendencies, I've also collected many stones, and I have a whole safe full of stones. I'll show you the texture plates. Some of them we've etched a pattern into brass, and then we press the brass into the precious metal. Sometimes we'll use a hammer that we've modified to add our texture. Sometimes we might use something like corn husk and press that in. I like texture a lot. I very seldom do just smooth, shiny metal. This is kind of one of my iconic pieces, and it's called the chrysanthemum, and I've put it on a stingray collar, which I have these collars made in France. So it can be worn as a pin, it can be worn with a strand of gemstone beads, it can be worn alone as a brooch. They're all different because there's no patterns or no molds for any of this, so each one comes out a little bit different, and they're all pretty labor intensive. We have very few pieces that don't take at least a week or 2 weeks to make. Meeting other artists and clients, that's really been a joy to my life because I've met the most interesting people. My clients have become my friends, and there's a lot of back and forth conversation between us. It's always nice to see somebody wearing a piece because everybody wears it a little bit differently. It just is such a happy feeling. Jewelry seems to have a lot of meaning. It's often a gift that marks a particular occasion. It's often something people buy for themselves to reward themselves for something, and sometimes it's a gift for somebody else. So I feel privileged to be able to be part of something that has that kind of meaning.